Ring of Honor this week. Triple I. We typically have Triple I and the Coastal Crusader on with us, but Coastal had to attend to some personal matters, some family matters. So he had to bow out of the call for tonight. He is doing okay. Don't worry, folks. He will be back on Recharge this Thursday and back on the Dudes and Belts Wrestling Chatcast next week. So Triple I is taking the reins and becoming the anchor of the Ring of Honor segment. Triple I, baby, take it away.
Oh, that's me again. Okay. So, so on Ring of Honor this past week, there was two good matches with a special appearance by a special someone, which I will get into in a little bit. First match is Eli Isom versus Dak Draper. A few quick thoughts on that. I thought Draper kind of, Sunday could attest, we'll know about this a little bit, maybe. I thought Dax Draper looked like Tim Tebow somewhat. It reminded me of his look wise,
Thank you, Monster 9, again for the next two biddies. Appreciate you, bud.
The pre-match promos, honestly, they felt forced to me. They felt forced. It felt more rehearsed and forced. They could have added more intensity. They're in the promos. Oh, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be at Ring of Honor. I'm happy for the opportunity. I'm happy to do this, happy to do that. That's great. You're not a little kid. You're not going to be happy all the time. This is real life adulthood here, okay? I want more intensity. You're going to kick the shit out of your opponent. Not using that language, but, just a little bit more. What I did, this is great. During the match, one of the things that I noticed was that when Dak was when he was in the match, he was talking to himself, not in a strange, weird way. He was talking to himself. It was very, dare I say, Kevin Owens and Rock-esque. As an example, he was saying, he did a power move. I forget what it was, and he said the word super strength. Like it was very audible for the whole audience to hear, and he did that on purpose. I thought I'm like, what is he doing? And then he had a submission hold on
Titus,
Eli.
I just told those guys
you had to count to five.
Tonight before we went live that
he broke the hold within 3 or 4 or whatever. And
BPCL, when do we get
Dak
Sledge versus Rush?
Dak goes, clean break.
Hopefully
he yelled it out
soon.
loud, clean break to the referee and for everyone to hear. So those little comments, the little commentary, the in-match commentary by the actual wrestler himself, we haven't seen that in quite some time. So I thought that was rather entertaining.
And we've talked about that before too. That adds to such an element to an in-ring competitor.
Look at chat, Triple I, real quick.
I'm sorry.
Look at chat. What Titus said.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I could see. Well, I mean, he's doing well, Titus. He's doing well. So I can see why as well. It makes all the sense in the world. With that being said, and I hope he, with what you said, Massel, the commentary, I bet you he learned that from Rocky Mountain Pro as well. So it's working. So they're doing something right down there, guys. All right,
absolutely.
Something to take note of. With that being said, all the commentary side, that's all great and everything. Dak was the one on offense 93% of the match, I'd say, give or take, around there. 93% of the match. Every time Eli would try to, every time he would try to mount some type of offense or get an offensive maneuver in, Dak would just stop it right there. Also, every time Dax went for his own signature move, which is one of a gut wrench power bomb or the mile high muffler, Eli would counter it into a pin. Okay, I thought that was pretty cool because you thought the match could end right there. You have Dak going for one of his signature moves, and Eli counters it right there into a pinfall, and matches have been won that way. They have. All right, so I thought that was rather neat. what I didn't like was that these guys are phenomenal wrestlers, all right? But Eli's best offense was his defense. All right, you're not gonna win too many matches if your best offense is your defense. You'll get lucky maybe here and there. It may be a fluke victory, but I just feel you gotta just mount some more offense. You have to be more convincing, if that makes any sense. Unless there was a reason why he was doing that, then I stand corrected. Okay, they went to a 15-minute time. They went to a 15-minute draw. So the time expired. Neither competitor won. So both wrestlers are arguing for 5 more minutes, rightfully so, because it was a really good match. But before they can even resume the match, this interesting, invigorating, entertaining, electrifying man, not named The Rock, comes out. And he's flamboyant as ever, dancing as ever, and he's got the moves and everything. My boy, Dalton Castle, comes out. And the inner Triple I in me just got so excited, and I screamed like a little girl because I love this dude. Superstar. Oh, superstar. That's what Dalton would do. Okay? Exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly. Love it. Dalton cuts a phenomenal promo. He legit spits some energy and electricity into the match. Not the wrestling match, but more of the segment. Those are two key differences there, okay? The segment. And Dalton, and he comes out with his boys as well and everything. And Dalton even says, I want to spice things up, and he puts emphasis that this is a TV show. And he wants to appeal to the wrestlers more than just regular wrestling, which I thought was, this is Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is about, is about morals and code of honor and pure wrestling and things like that, not your typical entertainment company out of Stamford, Connecticut. And here Dalton is doing the opposite. He wants to put more emphasis on entertaining and appealing to the viewers. It was phenomenal. The way he delivered at certain times with the way he delivered it was great. Dalton gets in and to long story short, he low blows both opponents and then he walks out, and that was that. I highly recommend you see that segment with Dalton Castle. Phenomenal. And very entertaining, succinct and to the point though as well. All right. If you could accomplish all that in a matter of minutes and not drawing it out, you're doing something right. Dalton Castle is gold. All right, and I think my colleagues would agree with me with that right there.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. So that being said, that led to the second match. That led to the second match and the last match of the night for Ring of Honor. And before I get into the match, it was Homicide, Chris Dickinson, and Brody King. Also known as Violence Unlimited, great name by the way, versus LFI, which is Rush, Kenny King, and Bestia. Before the match began, there was a promo by Violence Unlimited. If you guys just remember 2 minutes ago what I was talking about, there was a pre-match promo with Eli Isom and Dak Draper in which I said it could have used more intensity. Watch this promo by Violence Unlimited. There's your intensity right there. There's your aggressiveness. There's your assertiveness. Right there, right then. They're not taking shit no more. They're going for their opponents, and they're going to do whatever it takes to be victorious every single damn time. I loved it. And it wasn't just by one member. It was by all three. Basically, balls to the walls, just going right at it full throttle. There was another line also, another quick promo as well before that. It was by Beer City Bruiser and Dixon. And one of the lines stuck out to me. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. But they said they don't fit in because of the way they look. They're not the typical 6'5", 250 jacked muscular guy. They said they don't fit in. And they said, if pure wrestling fails, then it's violence. Ooh, great line. Love it right there. Okay. There was also a promo by Righteous, which I did not understand. The reason why I did not understand it is because it felt very Bray Wyatt-esque. Speaking in riddles, all right? A lot of jargon there, All right, I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a viewer. I want to understand what you're saying. I get there's a purpose of what you're doing and why you're doing it, but help me understand as well. Okay, it's like speaking a foreign language somewhat. The match happened, but it essentially wasn't a match. All right, it was fast-paced, hard-hitting action from bell to bell, and that bell to bell, just so you know, it wasn't a 10, 15-minute match. We're talking 3 or 4 minutes, and here's why. Because it ended in a no contest, essentially. Because it was all chaos. There was no rhyme or rhythm, no logic, which is great, and there's a reason for that. And it ended in a no contest, a DQ. The Foundation interfered as well, and all three factions were going at it. It should have been a street fight. And that's exactly why I like the ending, because it's leading to something else. There's going to be a street fight, or there's going to be a stipulation match, or there's going to be something to compete for. There's a reason why. There's a reason to fight. You know, there's a reason for, you know, Violence Unlimited to maybe fight the Foundation to fight LFI or have them involved some way somehow. All right, it allows for various storylines to continue. I liked it. I usually not a fan of these type of endings, but if I know as a viewer it's going to lead to something, I'm all for it. You know, not every, and I'll end it with this: not every wrestling match, not every promo, not every segment needs to end clean. It doesn't need to end with a decisive winner and a decisive loser, or I'm going to do this. And because I'm going to do this, you're going to do that. And it's not going to always go from A to Z. It's not always going to go in a linear fashion. If it did, none of us would be watching professional wrestling. All right? We wouldn't be doing that. It leads to something else. It's like it's some type of graph. I forget the name of the graph, okay? But it's going up and down all the time, or it's going this way or that way. That's why I don't mind these matches not ending in clean finishes all the time. Now, I'm not saying to do this all the time. I'm not saying that. But you have to pick and choose your spots. And Ring of Honor did that on the 501st episode of Ring of Honor TV.
So what do you think is the future going forward with LFI? What the hell is that fucking faction? You just said it too. Violence.
Foundation.
Yeah. No, not.
Violence Unlimited.
Yeah. Yes, Violence Unlimited. Because they're a new faction, I'm trying to get used to it. And do you think that, honestly, the Foundation is going to get involved too? In your opinion, do you think that there's going to be some type of like a cage / war game / any type of street fight-esque type of match?
There has to be. One of the teams involved, their name is Violence Unlimited. It speaks for itself right there. It has to be, okay? There's going to be no pure wrestling. There's going to be no code of honor with this. Now, to answer your question in more detail, I don't know if there'd be a War Games match type. There should be something like that, but it won't be War Games though.
No, that was just like an example, like a style match, like with all three factions getting together. You know what I mean?
I think there needs to be something. Yes, there will be something. I think a steel cage could be involved, but a steel cage won't be involved. You want to know why? Because there's 12 people involved. There's 12 wrestlers. All right, and there could be more as well. There's 3 different factions, so no, I don't think so. I think it's going to be more along the lines of a street fight, or no holds barred, or no DQ, or something involving that. That's what's going to happen. There will not be a cage. A cage. When's the last time? And this is for anyone, Ring of Honor or not. Have you seen a steel cage match in which you've had more than 4 competitors in it? And I'm not talking about War Games either.
Okay, AEW's about to have one very soon. War Games. AEW's about to have one against the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle at Blood and Guts.
But it's going to be a little bit of a War Game style matchup.
But even before that, it's a very rare occurrence to see anything more than like tag teams against each other in a cage. And even then, that has to be all hell breaking loose for two tag teams to need a Hell in a Cell, which we've seen that. We've seen like the Usos versus the New Day in the Hell in a Cell. It was one of the best Hell in a Cell matches I've ever seen in my life. But if you start adding 2-3 factions into that, that's just chaos.
I'm starting to think that you're going to have, at the very least, throughout the entirety of this whole, war that's going on at Ring of Honor, I think eventually you're going to have a triple threat match for the Ring of Honor Championship. You're going to have Roosh, which is your Ring of Honor champion.
Yes.
Yep. You're going to have Jay Lethal, and you're going to have Brody King. And there's going to be a triple threat, whether it's DQ or no DQ, pure rules or not. And I think that's what's going to possibly end it. Now, how we get to that point still remains to be seen. But that's my prediction for their next pay-per-view. I think you're going to see some sort of a triple threat match for that Ring of Honor title. And I think it's going to be the leaders of those factions. Which means Jay Lethal will get his rematch from 19th anniversary. And you add Brody King into the mix, and you're going to have a hell of a fucking match.
And know what's going to make it even more intriguing? Let's go with that for a quick second, Johnny. Let's go with that. They all have members by their side. There's going to be some type of stipulation involving their members of getting who's barred from ringside, getting involved, who's allowed at ringside.
On my member.
Huh?
I hate when there's a stipulation on my member.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But you got to deal with it. No, that's when we need a "that's what she said" on the exit line. Or "that's what he said."
I had to find myself one of those, That would be a great idea, but there will be some stipulations involved some way, somehow. And the reason why you can't have a cage match, I'm a fan, I'm a viewer. I am going to lose track of what's happening with 12 guys in a steel cage match. Absolutely. It's going to be too much, so that's why it will not happen. So is there anything to look forward to for next week of Ring of Honor?
They announced a few matches. That part I missed. So if you could fill me in on that. But what I am looking forward to is there's going to be something involving these three factions, obviously, because it ended in a no DQ match. Yep. So that's the one thing you want to look forward to right there. Above all else, if anything, you only catch a few minutes of Ring of Honor. Tune in to Violence Unlimited. What's going to happen with them? With LFI. With the foundation. This is, pun intended, this is a foundation for something that's brewing to come.
So
and also, you should probably pay attention to Dalton Castle and figure out what's he doing.
Yeah. I wonder if Dalton Castle, though, will... I'm going to pay attention to regardless. Dalton Castle is there. My eyes are there. They're there. I don't care if there's a fire going on. I don't care if there's $1 million on the ground. Okay, maybe that's a different story. But let's say, if there's a fire going on, okay, screw that. My eyes are glued to the screen because Dalton Castle's there. But the thing is, Dalton Castle attacked both members. I think all Dalton Castle's message was, hey, I want this to be more interesting, more entertaining. I want to spice things up. So if you're going to see something with Dalton Castle next week or the week after that, it won't be with Eli Isom and Dak Draper. It's going to be with somebody else.